Welcome to today's show. For all of you watching on YouTube, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button and click that bell for notifications. Today on Mr. Nashville Talks, star of London's West End, a British television actress, singer, songwriter, recording artist, and the author of The Faith of a Child, Patti Boulaye. One of the greatest things about having your own show is that you get to have people you love on the show. And I don't want people that I'm not fond of or that I don't enjoy. But this lady, I'm more than fond of, and I'm more than enjoy. My heart kind of bears witness with her. I just love her so much. And I just want to wrap my arms around her virtually. Miss Patti Boulaye, my little princess, British princess, Patti Boulaye.
I love that. That's brilliant. British princess, that would do me.
Yeah. You have the most amazing story, and we both love the Lord. We both love people, and I think those are our two greatest loves. And then everything else just kind of falls into effect, doesn't it?
Well, what else do you need?
That's right. That is so true. Well, her story. Well, first of all, her book.
The Faith of a Child.
The Faith of a Child. You have to get this book. This is one of the most, and we'll show it on the screen and tell you how to get it, but it is one of the most amazing stories. We're only going to crack the surface of it today, but her story is one of the most amazing stories you'll ever read. Your book needs to be a movie. Have you talked to the BBC about that?
Everyone keeps saying that, but I actually wrote the book. Larry, I wrote this book because I was such a strict mother. And I wanted my children to know why I was such a strict African mother in show business.
Yeah.
Because they just couldn't understand, So, that's why I wrote it. But, now that it's out there, everyone keeps saying this should be a movie.
It really should. It really should. And first of all, your music is wonderful as well, and I hope we can work together sometime, because that would be a joy. I've sent you some music, but it keeps coming back. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but when you hear it, I hope you'll enjoy it. But your singing is wonderful.
Thank you.
And your story, getting into your story, Patti was on her way to being a nun, but then she just happened to get into the wrong line going to Madame Tussauds. This alone is so. Can you tell the story of getting in the wrong line and put you in the right place?
I know, Larry, you and I know God works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
People just don't understand. In my life, He is the pilot of my life, I have decided. Because I was born 7th of 9 children.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And brilliant children. I'm talking a physicist, a doctor, a pilot, an aeronautic engineer, a chemist. Oh, come on. Those are my siblings. And then me, so number 7, Dad decided that I should be a lawyer. And come on, I don't have it in me. I know people study things to get, degrees and all sorts of things, which is good, which is something I did. But being a lawyer was not in my DNA. I'm just one of those people that I couldn't possibly defend anyone whom I knew was guilty.
Right.
I would just tell the judge to just lock him up and throw away the keys.
Exactly.
So when I decided to go into the convent, because I thought if I went into the convent, Dad has no jurisdiction over me.
Yeah.
That was my main reason of going into the convent, because I was in a boarding school. I was in a Catholic boarding school, the Order of the Holy Child of Jesus, which happens to be an American order.
Oh.
But anyway, Reverend Mother said, told my father to send me away for 3 months before, so I can decide whether or not to take my vows. Well, Dad decided to send me to England to my sister who was studying in London. And it was while I was with her that I I always thought, well, I'll go to Madame Tussauds. Everybody wants to see Madame Tussauds before you leave England. But this day, Madame Tussauds in those days had a head of hair, and it was rainbow colored hair.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was on a bus and I saw this head of hair. The fact that this one was Afro, the other one was a different shape, didn't come into it. It was just rainbow colored. And I thought, Madame Tussauds, there was a long queue round. Yeah. And I have to tell you, it was a theater called Shaftesbury Theater. Mm-hmm. And it's just a rounded front, just like Madame Tussauds. Yeah. It's just incredible. It's like it was set up for me. Yes. So I joined the queue, and I was in the queue for about 2 hours before I realized I was at an audition. And it was really weird because, well, you can imagine in those days, they were hippies, so everybody was dressed differently from me. Right. I was dressed as if I was going to an interview in a bank. Nothing for me. It's not in my DNA to be judgmental. Right. So I just thought, well, that's what they like wearing here. Exactly. I've just come from Africa. I've just survived the genocide. And so I just thought, okay, this is what they like wearing here. That's fine. And when I got to the stage door, and the stage door man, I said to the stage door, how much is it? How much do I pay? He said, you don't pay. This is an audition. So I said, okay, how much is the audition? Because I just, 2 hours in a queue, you think, whatever, I will pay. Yeah. And he said, no, this is an audition. You don't pay. I thought, wow, this is cheap. What do I have to do? He said, sing. I thought, in Africa, Larry, we sing when we're happy, when we're sad. We sing at weddings, we sing at funerals. We just sing. Anything we will sing. And so I thought, oh, well, that's okay. Put my name down. I'll sing. Yeah. So I went in and, they take you into the green room, what you call the green room. And, we were taken in 3 or 4 at a time. And while I was sitting there, I could hear through the tannoy system, other people auditioning. They were singing the same songs. When the moon is in the 7th house. And I'm thinking, okay. They dress very strangely and they only know one song.
I love it.
How stupid was that? Anyway, so, and when it came to my turn, they took me, I went on stage and I was quite shocked, I have to tell you, because we had black and white television when I was in Africa. Yes. And, I love movies of Marilyn Monroe. Oh, and yeah. The silver curtains that open in the black and white movies. Yes, yes. Okay, at this point, this was what I thought I was going to get. So you can imagine the shock when I walked in. Graffiti everywhere, and not a curtain in sight. And I thought, whoa. I was just looking around thinking, what is going on here? And a voice from the dark in the stall said, are you a member of Equity? And I went, what's that? That's the Actors Union. Right. That's the Actors Union. Okay, you must excuse, I was 16. And I said, what's that? And they all laughed. And he said, okay, what are you going to sing? And I said, I didn't come to sing. So they're loving it. I just thought, we've got a comedian. Yeah. Okay. And the MD, bless him, he's now gone to the Lord. He said to me, you must know a song. I said, sure I do. Who doesn't? He said, okay, what song? I said, The Sound of Music. I had seen this in the convent so many times. So he said, The Sound of Music. I said, yes, The Sound of Music. He said, what key? I said, I don't know, just play it. All these questions. And he played The Sound of Music, and I sang it in my best Von Trapp voice I could muster. Well, they were looking for someone to sing the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and no decent soprano would audition for the show. So I hit the highest note. I love that. That's how I got into show business.
Oh, that is so great. And so you come from the convent basically, and then you're in this this musical of hair. Yeah. And you didn't do the nude scene, right?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Didn't do the nude scene, didn't do the drugs, didn't do the alcohol. They tried. They tried. On my 17th birthday, everyone spent the entire time in that company trying to get this young woman stoned. I was young. I was maybe 15 years younger than everybody else then.
Right.
And they were trying to get me stoned on my birthday. They baked a cake of marijuana.
Oh no.
Honestly. And I looked at the cake. I said, sorry, doesn't look like the one my mother baked. No, not having it. They said, it's your birthday. I said, no, not having it. And they laced my champagne with LSD.
Oh, no, that would kill me. I would hate that. Oh,
that was cruelty, wasn't it? And
yeah,
I didn't touch it. Yeah. Luckily for me, they tried to get, you know how they celebrate either in the halves or at the end of the show. They would celebrate your birthday. No, not this company. They wanted me to celebrate mine before the show.
Oh.
And you know, in hair, everybody came on stage, slow motion through the audience. Okay. And I thought, no, I'd probably kill someone on myself because I've never had alcohol. I certainly, to be honest with you, Larry, I did not respect anyone I was working with. Their lifestyle was not what I wanted. So hence, I turned down the cake and I turned down the champagne. So when someone told me, because I said, what was so important that I should drink the champagne? And someone thought, a joke. LSD in your drink. And I went, do you know, I am in show business, but I'm not of it. Since then,
right. Yeah.
I'm in show business, but I'm not of it.
You're a light in it. You have to, you bring your light, that God light that's within you, and you share it with all those people, and they see it. And one day they'll either, if they don't respect it, then they will one day, because they
do now.
Yeah.
God be praised. God be praised. They do now.
Yes. And you were on a very successful show in Britain long before there was in America. We have American Idol. In Britain they have X Factor, all these great shows. You were on New Faces in Britain.
Oh yeah.
And you made all top marks, which is unheard of. And
I know.
And you did so well. And then how did that feel? Because when you're on television in Britain, especially in that time, you were basically in every home in Britain because there was only so many channels, and this was the show to watch, and you did such an incredible job there. So you're superstar overnight, basically. Did it feel that way?
Okay. Here is the thing that happened here. All I can say, it can only be God.
Yes.
Because I avoided going to that audition, simply because there were two Simon Cowells. Now we have one. There were two Simon Cowells in that show. And I thought, no, I'm not going. Because I was in the London West End show.
Yes.
3 West End shows I did. Then I got one West End show called The Black Mikado, in which I had the leading role of Yum Yum. It's the Gilbert and Sullivan show. Okay. And after that, I had to change my name. My name was Patricia Ngozi Ebigwe. I had to change my name because it didn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
And being Black, it was very difficult to actually get an agent.
Yes.
So I got myself an agent who was interested in promoting me. And he said to me, because you changed your name, your history of the West End is gone. So if you do this program, it will re-establish you. And I'm thinking, no, this program will kill me. But with those two Simon Cowell, I will be so dead and gone. My father would not even have me back in Nigeria. And so I took the train. It's not like me. I'm an early bird. I'm always early for something. And I thought, okay, I would just satisfy him by going to Birmingham, where the audition was. The audition started at 9 in the morning. And I thought, if I get there by 1:30, 2 o'clock, it'll be over, because it said morning audition.
Yes.
I got there, Larry, at the train station. I thought, should I turn back? I thought, no, go and sign in so he knows you were there. I get there, they were on strike.
Oh no.
They were on strike. And it was the last episode of the last series of a long 8-year series on this program. So I was the last person to audition and the only one to get the maximum points. Amazing.
That is amazing. See, like you said, God ordered your steps. Your whole career seems to be that way too. And
whole career.
Yeah. And you starred in I say the name a little wrong. You correct me. Bisi, Daughter of the River. I haven't seen that, of course. I would like to, because they lost the films, did they not?
They did. That was done in the 70s. And if there's anyone, it was done by Samuelson's. You remember Emma Sams? It was her father's company. Well, if anyone has a copy, please let me know. But you know, in Nigeria, nothing ever lasts long. But it ran in the cinema for about 3 years, and it was Africa's biggest grossing film.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. It was like the biggest film in Africa, and so that had to be one of the greatest honors. And then, you know, especially because you came from Africa, you survived a genocide. She doesn't brag. Patti doesn't brag on herself a lot, so I'm going to do that for her. She comes from a very regal pedigree. Her grandfather was a king. He was assassinated, but her father was a tribal chief and a diplomat. He faced the firing squad, and this was to be as happy as you are, this just shows God, because you're so happy, you love life, you know what life is, and you know what it is to take it away, because you've seen the genocide, you've seen horrors that would send people into deep depressions, to the bottle, to all these different things, but yet you stayed strong in your faith. And you just kept going, put one foot on one high heel in front of the other high heel.
One high heel.
and you go to this new country, and you didn't leave your country behind. You have a charity that supports Africa. You have been awarded the OBE. And tell us about the OBE, because in America, they won't know, you know, they know that some people like get a damehood and different things like that, and it's similar to that. Can you explain what an OBE is for the American audience?
Well, an OBE is the most excellent order of the British Empire.
Yes.
And it's awarded by the Queen. For me, it was for charitable work in the UK and sub-Saharan Africa, because my husband and I, and our children, we worked very hard. We have a family charity. We've built 5 basic healthcare centers in Africa and a school with Prince Harry's charity. And I was also on the steering committee for Her Majesty the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002. There was just 12 of us organizing Her Majesty's it was such an honor. That has to be the biggest honor of my life, apart from having my children and my grandchildren. That had to be the biggest honor, career-wise.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
And John Major, that's your favorite prime minister.
Oh my goodness, number one. I tell you what, I have an incredible story to tell about Sir John. When the first lady invited me to Nigeria to help with her charity. I went to visit her, and I really wasn't, I hate to say this, I wasn't keen on the charity. I wasn't, because I only do things that move my spirit.
Yes.
And I wasn't keen. I don't care who the person is. I have one king, and he's Jesus.
That's
Everybody
right.
else, if it doesn't move my spirit, no sorry. I don't care who you are. Anyway, so she invited me, and I thought, no, I don't like this. Feels more like show. It's no. And my brother in Nigeria said to me, so that your journey is not wasted, let me show you what's going on here. And he took me to a village, a small village. And that was where I met this little baby that had 2 weeks to live. He had full-blown AIDS. And up to then, I didn't even know that babies could have, full-blown AIDS. This was such a shock. I came back to Britain and I said to my husband, I want to save this little boy called Victor. 2 weeks after I got back, he had gone. But there were 60 babies in this place, collected by this little doctor. And I said to my husband, my husband is wonderful, Larry. My husband is my best friend. He is a gentleman. We've been married 45 years. And he is just my best friend, best man I've ever met. And this man said to me, well, why don't we try and save the other 60? The other 59 children. And I said, okay, but how do we do that? I said, where do we start? These kids are dying they were all HIV positive. So he said, well, we need to fast track the charity. We need to ask somebody prominent to be patron. Okay. So I said, okay, who? He said, either Prince Charles or John Major.
Start
just
high.
like that. Just like that. Can you imagine? Poor Prince Charles. Yeah. He's got charity coming out of his nose and his ears. Yeah. And I said, really? I can call Prince Charles and go, Your Royal Highness, do you mind being a charity or a patron of some small charity? So I thought, okay, this is my way out. So I said, Lord, if you want me to do this, you need to deliver John Major or Prince Charles. Done. That's what I thought. The next thing I know, I'm telling Larry, sometimes I think the Lord kind of teases me.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I get a phone call from Sir John Major's secretary saying, Patti, Sir John is retiring from politics. And, we're giving a big party and he would like you to sing.
Wow. That's just God opening the door. Yeah.
So I said, but Sir John had been a friend for years.
Yes.
And I thought, what? I thought, oh no, you've got me hooked now. So I said to her, okay, I tell you what, done. No fees, nothing, but I need a favor. She said, what's the favor? I said, could you sit my husband and I next to Sir John and Dame Norma at the party? She said, that's it? I said, oh yeah, that's it. She said, Sir John will be delighted. I said, good. He didn't know what was coming. Anyway, so at the party, I said to him, told him about my encounter with these babies. And I said, I'm forming a charity and it will help me if you could be patron of the charity. He said, of course I'll be patron. I thought, what? Larry, I tell you, I got home after the party and I drew, because I'm an artist. Yeah. I actually designed the cover of, the logo for the charity. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I went to the printers, had it printed, sent him a letter saying, I said, Sir John, I am so sorry. I do apologize for cornering you over champagne. But if you want to back out, I will completely understand. If you want to back off now, I'm thinking there's two things that's going to happen. He's going to either confirm it in writing, or in the cool night of day, he's going to go, well, I've kind of thought about it and maybe not a good idea. I got it back in writing. She says, of course, you silly girl, he said. I said yes, and I meant yes. Yes! Within a week, I had 13 other patrons from politics, everywhere, name it. God is amazing.
Yes, he is. And in America, we have two, a lot of people don't know as much about John Major. They should. He was very helpful with a lot of things that we have done in America during the Bush years. But you know, in America, we know two very famous prime ministers, of course, that are popular here is Winston Churchill and Margaret Thatcher.
Oh yeah.
And I love Margaret Thatcher. You knew her, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I think I met my husband and I think we met Margaret Thatcher, Baroness Thatcher, about 8 times, maybe even more.
Yeah.
And I was at one of her hustings. I was sitting just behind her. You could see, on the podium. No, she was quite an amazing woman, tough.
Yeah.
I learned one thing about timekeeping. Because I was sitting just behind her, I noticed that when she was speaking, she had her watch just there, and she looked at it. 10 minutes, she timed it, and I went, "Oh yeah, that's my woman." I like her. It was brilliant. She was just fantastic.
Yes. Have you seen The Crown? The television show, The Crown? Yeah.
No, you mean the move? No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, they just, Anne Julian just played her in The Crown last season. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have known the real royal family. You knew Princess Diana. You've performed for Her Majesty the Queen. Could you tell us anything about your relationship with Diana or any of the royals, actually?
Well, actually, Prince Charles, I have met, since he was 21.
Yes.
Since he was 21. I remember we kind of flirted with each other the first time I met him, because he was 20. He was, oh my goodness. Oh, yes. A real gentleman with a heart. Yes. The guy is just fantastic. And he was the one when I was going for my OBE, and each royal takes, I think Her Majesty, I can't remember, Her Majesty was away. Prince Charles was officiating the investment. And I remember when they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the royal officiating your investiture is Prince Charles." I went, "Wow!" And everybody, even the royal staff all laughed. I went, "Oh dear, I don't think I should have done that." Because
I love him. I think he's wonderful.
Oh, he is. He's absolutely. And Prince, I think it was very sad between him and Princess Diana, because, I had a private lunch with her. Funny enough, I had a private lunch with her and Linda McCartney. And it was wonderful with these two women. Both of them are gone now. I'm thinking my turn is coming soon.
No.
I'm thinking, it doesn't matter. I don't mind. Going to the Lord is something. As long as my family is fine, going to the Lord is fine by me.
Well, I need to keep you here long enough for me to actually get that real hug in real life.
Oh, Larry, okay, that's it. You're in. Because, I can't wait to hug you. Definitely.
Yeah. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. And I love that you respect these people, because so many times, we all have divorces. Sometimes we all have bad things that happen. Things happen to us. It doesn't ruin us for the rest of our lives and things. And I think he's had a really, really unfair shake on that, because it takes two people to have a problem, I think. Sometimes not, but most of the time.
Well, yes, but I always say to people, none of us are perfect.
Right. I think he will make a good queen. I think he'll make a good king, and I think Camilla will do well. I think Camilla will do well too. With that,
I think so. I've met her. I was reluctant to meet Camilla, but Duchess of Cornwall. I was reluctant to meet her because I love Diana. Because I met Diana so many times, and she was just, oh my goodness. There was something about her spirit. Because I thought, no one. But when I met Camilla, she's very matronly. She's really very nice. I was surprised. Her spirit is so gentle. And so, the press will have us believe.
Oh, yeah.
I refuse to be programmed.
I don't blame you. And like you said, your charity did work with Prince Harry's charity. That's and, of course, he got he gets a little heat right now as well, too, and how do you feel about that over in Britain yourself? Do you think a lot of it is the racial thing, or do you think it's just a royal thing? You would know more.
A lot of it, unfortunately for him, he's getting both sides. Yeah. He's getting the racial thing and he's getting the royal thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I know Britain likes to think it's not racist.
Right.
But that is laughable because we really, you know, but he's getting both.
Both
And
sides.
I think he is so lovely. He's so much like his mother. He really is. But, you know, only what, well, anyway, okay. Well,
Yeah.
whoever is against him, you know,
Yeah.
they will get twice as much as they give.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing in life is free. I tell people, it's not a free lunch. You put out evil, it will come back and slap you in the face.
Yes.
Sooner or later.
And he did a lot of great work. He's done a lot of great work, like you said, like with you and different ones in Africa. And he loves Africa. So that's a good thing. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love all the royals. I just, you know, hope them all well.
I do.
What was it like to perform for Her Majesty?
I know. You know, I love all the royals. I think I've met every single royal. The only one I miss except two, and that's Prince William. I've never met Prince William. And the Queen Mother. I was at her 100th birthday celebration at the palace, and I didn't meet her. I was so sorry.
Oh.
I was so sorry, but it's okay. I wanted to meet her, but I've met every other royal, which is such a blessing. Larry, do you know I have met every single British Prime Minister since I came to this country?
Isn't that amazing? That's God working it out, because you came there for to see if you were going to be a nun or not, to make that decision. You get into hair, and then next thing you know, you're in history. You know, see, God ordered those steps.
What kind of sense of humor has God got?
I think it's wonderful. And you also, one of your favorite roles, but I think it scared you a bit, you said, was Carmen Jones, and which is such an amazing historic show to do. And you had to learn opera and what was that experience like?
Oh my word! Now you're talking. You know, I went. It was funny because I went to see the show because a friend of mine, who wasn't an opera singer, was playing the part of Joe. And I thought, you playing Joe? He said, yeah. I thought, I've got to come and see this. And I went to see the show. It was at the Old Vic in the West End. And I thought, oh, Father in heaven, I need to play this woman. I need to play this character. So I went away and, you know, I got 3 people. Before then, my voice had never been trained. You need to know this.
Right.
3 coach people, I turned them down because I said to them, I want to be able to hit that first note getting off the G. Yeah. Oh, you can't do that. Everybody wants you to stand like this, you know. I mean, that's not common.
Right.
You know, it may be, you know, in La Boheme or, you know, but that's not common. Common is sassy, you know.
Yes.
And so one man who actually trained Pavarotti as well said, if you can do it, if you got the stamina, I'll teach you. Wow. So we had 6 months training. Meanwhile, I was praying that the show would still be on.
Yeah.
And it was. And I went and auditioned for the director, the Hammerstein brothers, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And finally, I got to play Carmen. Oh my word. And it was the Japanese, apparently, the show had been on for 2 years by then. And I was the 8th Carmen. The Japanese apparently kept wanting to take it to Japan, but not quite sure about the Carmen until I came along. And I said, now that Carmen will have. Wasn't that was fantastic.
That is amazing.
Unbelievable. So I went off to Japan, you know, the company. It was just such a compliment. But she was my alter ego.
Yeah.
She was nothing like me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. You're so different. And that's why you could let loose and be a different person and see what that side was like without the consequences. You know?
You said it. I mean, I remember once my husband, oh, bless him. My husband literally saw probably every performance I did in London.
Well,
I was there for 18 months.
And he goes with you on tour. You're touring now with Aretha and Me, a one-woman show, and you're singing the songs of Aretha Franklin and telling your story in correlation with that. And one thing I love about you too is, now you get these people that do their shows, they're slouchy looking, that you come dressed beautifully like a star that you are, and you give us a real show, and just as cute as you can be, and everything while doing it. It's kind of hard to be cute and be Aretha, but you do it, because Aretha is just kind of down, and but tell us about the show.
Well, it's true, because when I had a few years off, when I say a few years, I mean many years, bringing up my children and running the charity.
Yes.
Because the charity was a family, I realized I couldn't go back on stage and actually run the charity. Yeah. So it was kind of real financial loss for us, but it didn't matter. So I decided, actually, it's funny, it was Sir John Major who said to me, you should maybe take time and go back and do what you're really good at, which is, singing. I said, okay, I'll do that. So I did Billy and Me. I took the music of Billie Holiday, because I thought it's about time I maybe tried some jazz. I've tried every genre of music. Yeah. And I thought Billie Holiday, but Billy's life was so dark.
Yeah.
I had to find humor. So I thought, I need to bring African humor in here. And I did. It was so successful that I thought, somebody said to me, gosh, you need to do another show like this. And I thought, Aretha Franklin. I thought, you crazy? Who can sing Aretha Franklin? Come on, Aretha is Aretha.
Yeah.
And I thought Aretha was more difficult than Carmen.
Yeah, I would say.
Honestly, but I thought, okay. So what I did, Larry, I thought, okay, I'm going to make life easy for me. I'm going to ask all my followers on Facebook to give me their 10 favorite Aretha Franklin songs, because dear Aretha recorded over 300 songs. Come on.
Yeah.
And everybody kept saying Nessun Dorma.
Yes.
Nessun Dorma. I thought, I'm talking Aretha Franklin, not Pavarotti. What's wrong with the world? And they said, no, she sang it. So I thought, oh, Aretha, come on, you want to kill me. So I went and I learned Nessun Dorma. I learned Aretha's song, but what I did was, obviously, I'm not trying to sing it like Aretha.
Right, yeah, it's not an impersonation.
I'm trying to sing it like Patti. It's not a tribute show. And so I kind of tell stories about her life and run it parallel. I'll tell you one of the stories I tell them, which is quite funny. And I say to them, I start the show by saying, okay, welcome. This is a show that compares the great Aretha Franklin's career and life with my career and life. I say, before you laugh, let me explain this. I say to them, she was the greatest singer, yeah, but I can explain why she was the greatest singer. And I only had 3 top 10s. She was born in her family home, and I was born in a taxi. So let's start there. Obviously, I was born in a taxi. And so I said to them, at the audience, they love that. I say to them, I was born in a taxi. I said, you know what? Let's face it. 7th of 9 children. The passage was clear. You don't need to be an Olympic champion to make that. And I said to them, come on, the 7th child, I couldn't wait. My mother was in a taxi on a ferry on the River Niger, crossing over from Asaba, where my parents lived, to Onitsha, where the hospital is. There's a great big river Niger, a mile wide, that separates the 2 towns.
Yes.
So she was on the ferry, and I obviously couldn't wait.
Yeah.
I was delivered right there in the taxi. So I said to the audience, next time you come to the world, if you want to be an Aretha Franklin and have a success, don't get born in a taxi. It doesn't work. But I have many stories like that in which I just, they love it. It's a good, they forgive me because I don't sound like Aretha Franklin, but the stories are good. So.
Well, you're sounding like Patti Boulaye, and that's what they love. They're coming to see Patti Boulaye sing these these great songs. So I think that's, that's wonderful. You're not trying to do an impersonation,
Oh, good heavens, no. Like I said, I have 17 songs and 10 of them are Aretha's. The rest, I have 2 Etta James. I have 1 Bessie Smith, 1 Alberta Hunter. I have, of course, Nelson Dormer. And then I have the Habanera from Carmen. And then I have an African, which they love dancing. Everybody just gets up when I put this African, which I wrote, called Amina. And it's great. So it's really, people, all the critics say that they can't believe my range.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing that gets me. By the way, before, as we're getting into things, I want to give a shout out to one of our friends, Simon Whittington, who, Mr. Showbiz Simon, I said I was going to tell Patti about him today. Yeah, I said I was going to bring him up today.
He is lovely. I was going to bring him up if you didn't. I was going to say we have a friend in common. Simon is lovely. I mean, I interviewed him for my Life with Patti Boulaye. And oh my goodness, well, he is just one of the nicest people in show business, Simon.
Yes.
And no wonder he is Mr. Show Business,
Yes, I think he's great. I think he's great. And you have another wonderful friend who was not my friend, because it would have been nice to have been his friend, but Michael Jackson.
Oh, MJ. Yes. Oh my gosh. I think, you know what? All I can say is everyone who pointed fingers at MJ. Were only expressing themselves.
Yes.
We have a saying. You see, when you point one finger, 3 pointing right back at you, you're usually more guilty of what you accuse other people of being.
Yes. And he was such a talent and such a wonderful life. Did a lot of great things. You met him when he was a teenager, correct?
I met him when he was 17. That was the first time. And then the last time I saw him, I went to sing in LA at his 45th birthday celebration. I can't believe he's gone before me, little Michael. It's unbelievable. The world is a cruel place.
It is.
Like Michael, Princess Diana, they just don't survive our world.
Yeah. It's when you're that sensitive, it's really hard, and you have so many people controlling you. I know. It's a sad thing, but I'm so glad that he had you in his life.
I'm so glad I had him in my life because he was so good. Yuri Geller and I took him on the Royal train. We actually hired the Royal train and took Michael all the way to Exeter, spent 4 hours with Michael. And David Blaine was with him then. It was such a lovely young man. So missed.
Yes. And I just appreciate you so much and all the love that you give other people. I know I don't want to run over your time, but I want to ask you one more thing before and I want to also bring up your book again, but before we go, how was life on the Real Marigold Hotel with Miriam Margolyes and Wayne Sleep? We saw the show and it was wonderful, of course, and you were wonderful. And in all that heat, you still look beautiful, and everybody else just looks like they're just suffering, and you're just glowing. How did you manage to do that part?
Actually, no, the funny thing is, I got on with everyone.
Yes.
Even though I was the youngest, I ended up being like the agony aunt, simply because I can't do this show business thing of hugging the camera. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's undignified sometimes.
Right.
And when I agreed to do the program, I agreed because I thought, well, we're all going to be over 60.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, which I've turned down 7 times.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I just refuse to do something like that. I'm an entertainer, not an idiot.
Yeah.
So, I'm just there to give people joy, not to be a fool or, give young people the wrong message. But we got on so well. We absolutely got on. Wayne I've known for many years. Jan Leeming I'd known for many years. I met Miriam for the first time. She's not as bad as, we clashed. Only the first person I clashed with was her, and then we became friends. Because I don't take nonsense from anyone. I am very polite. I was brought up in Africa in a large family. Respect is paramount.
Yes.
For yourself and for others. If they're older than you, you must respect them, but you don't have to respect them if they disrespect themselves. That's my rule.
Well, and that was one thing I wondered about, because you are such a lady. And Miriam, now she talks like she has a very posh voice, but she can be a little unladylike. You know,
I mean, I tell you what, that is her call card.
Yes, yes.
You know, that's where her fame comes from.
Yes.
So that's fair enough. You know, it's like a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, that's her call card. No problem. Once I understood that, and she understood that I'm no pushover, that was fine. We were okay. Yeah. I mean, we absolutely actually loved each other, and you know, so yeah, we were okay. Everyone was wonderful on that. But I loved India.
Yes. I can't imagine anyone not having a wonderful time with you. And I also, I forgot to mention, you do lectures and you're doing a series at the college. Could you explain a little bit about what you're doing there?
Oh, at the Middlesex University.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. About 9 years ago, I'm a visiting teaching fellow.
Yes.
9 years ago, I was invited. The students asked me to come and speak to them because I have an academy, which is Bipada Academy. Yes. And through Bipada Academy, I don't advertise. I've been doing this for 35 years. I think it's because I have 36 nieces and nephews, and heaven knows how many great nieces and nephews, that I have learned to, I had done my society before I left my family. And so somehow there's nothing anyone has gone through that I haven't been through. So I'm pretty good at changing people's perception of themselves and perception of life.
Yes.
So number one, I start with the premise that you are a spiritual being on a physical journey.
Yes.
The most important thing is the spirit. If you connect with the spirit of the person, it doesn't matter how far away they are. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't, or who they are, or what job. If you connect with their spirit, you've connected with a true person.
Yes.
So I went to speak to the students, and I was told they don't do religion, they don't do spirituality, they don't do politics. And I thought, what am I going to speak to them about? But it was a student that asked for me. So when I turned up, it was quite good, because first thing I said to them, I know what your rules are, but I need to address your spirit. Otherwise, I've traveled 2 hours for nothing. Yeah. And you have wasted 2 hours of your life for nothing listening to me. And, you know, I usually go dressed really quite in my designer wear. And I say to them, take a good look and then dispel everything, because I'm going to tell you what your mama should have been telling you, or what she told you, you weren't listening. And so that's how we go. And I thought, you know, they won't get me back. But 9 years, I'm still there. I just get undergraduates prepared for the world with truth, just truth, you know. And some of the undergraduates in their final, you know, thesis and said that I was the only one that ever told them the truth. And that's the thing. I was the only one that wasn't politically correct, told it like it is.
That's how it should be. You have to hear how the world is and how things really are. And I think now what we're doing is what young people want and what kids want, and we just keep giving them that pacifier. You're right. When we're supposed to be the leaders and passing it down, it seems more like we're letting them tell us what to do. I mean, you know,
it says in the Bible, when the children start ruling you,
exactly,
exactly, a big fall.
Exactly. And I think we're suffering a lot of that now, I think, in the world today. I really do. And I know you all have been in such strict COVID measures there, which we have as well, but not as strong as you guys. But it's a good time to reflect and take notice of who you are, and you know, when all the world, you can't leave your home, you have to look at your husband, you have to look at your mom, you have to look at your dad, and just say it's time. We should get you know, So
Now you know what you're living with.
that's right.
Actually, you know, I mean, I was so grateful because, Larry, let me make you laugh. When we started lockdown, or just before the lockdown, I was surprised to see, you know, I mean, I go to top hotels, the Hilton, you know, you see these women so well dressed, okay? And they come out of the ladies' loo, not washing their hands. And you think, wow.
Yeah. Ugh.
Seriously. So when this COVID thing started, I said to my husband, if nothing else, women are washing their hands when they come out.
Yes, yes, for sure.
You know, seriously, because we were meticulous about hygiene.
Yes.
Because in tropical countries, you've got leprosy, they're handling money just like you are.
Yes.
You've got schistosomiasis, you've got all sorts of things, you know,
Yes.
and virus actually survives longer,
Yes.
you know, but in the West, it's more underneath.
Yeah.
And people die of other things with, you know, posh scientific names.
Yeah.
You know, which they should have said, you should be more hygienic.
Yeah, I agree.
Better life.
I agree. You know, and they ride on, you know, you ride on buses and taxis and what, you know, wherever else, touching all the rails, you know, and then you go and put food in your mouth or put your makeup on and
unbelievable.
But they do.
They do. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, this COVID, I said to my husband, okay, one good thing COVID has done is brought hygiene back.
Right. I love that. I love that.
Hygiene, you know, and I just, you know, even with my husband, I mean, he just looks at me. Before COVID, he said to me, "That's clean." I said, "No, it's not." The surface, you know. I mean, I cook, I iron, I just, you know, I do everything. I do everything in the house, everything. I refuse to have a housekeeper because the only one I ever had gave my story to the news of the world. I refuse to have anyone in my house anymore.
Oh, yeah. See, like the news of the world for the American people that are watching, it was kind of like our National Enquirer magazine. And but the British press, I mean, the British press is tough. I mean, it is so much tougher than here. This daily press.
And for a small island, I tell you what, it worries me because they don't know what they're bringing up. Yeah. I remember once saying to a press, I said, you know, when you're older, you're young now, and you're being acidic with your words. I said, when you're older, these young people who are reading your words are the ones who are going to be looking at you at the hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
So you better be sure that you bring up the right ones. Because when they're standing over you on your deathbed, there'll be no respect whatsoever. And when they have no respect, it's because you discourage them.
Yes.
Word respect.
I respect you, honey. I really do. You are the sweetest thing.
And I love you, Larry.
And this book is incredible. This book, I had one, I loaned it to a friend and they didn't return it. And I thought I've got to read it again because I wanted to make sure I was up to, you know, up to snuff when we did our interview. And I just fell in love all over again. And this makes a perfect gift. Christmas is coming up, birthday, anything. You should get this because these are lessons that you need to have in your life through example.
Larry, can I say?
Yes.
Coach Dale Brown.
Yes.
Of Louis, he did the foreword. What a wonderful man that man is.
Yes.
You must talk to him because
I would love to.
He's wonderful.
Well, you know, you're the first international star that I've done. Well, I mean, I've done international stars, but I mean, the first from Britain here via Zoom.
I mean, he's in Louisiana.
Yes, I know he is. Yeah, but I'm saying you. Yes, yes.
I am the first.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's it. I'm going to tell my family. Yes, sorry.
I'm coming over there. We're trying to work it out where I can come over there and do, because I watch British television all day long. I don't watch American television much. I love all the characters there. I love the people there. I love the pomp and circumstance, but I adore you and I love you so much. And
Me too.
I just thank God that we got to do this today. And
Thank you.
it's been a pleasure. It really
Great honor. Thank you so much, Larry. Great honor. Great honor. Love you, Larry. God bless you.
Subscribe to our mailing list and you could win a CD or DVD project by today's featured artist. To enter, please go to www.mrnashvilletalks.com and enter your email address. While there, take a look around, browse through our music store. Our show is totally funded by viewer support. Every t-shirt or music purchase from our store helps bring us new shows for you.